Hello, everyone. This is Cooking with Sven. I am your host, Sven. Welcome on Thursday night. We making tacos tonight. It is the second episode of the show. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. We have a very special show tonight. Both of my guests. I'll start off with the fantasy football nerd himself. At least that's what he calls himself. You know what I mean? He's an analyst, but I had the pleasure of doing, I believe, one show with him, maybe, I think. But we've interacted on Twitter here and there. It's my man, Jorge Martin. What's up, man? Thanks for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Love to talk tacos.
Yeah, man. Hey, we'll get you in the kitchen next time. You know, like cooking with us, right? Next time. If you can. If not, this is great, though. It's still to have you. And, tacos. Who doesn't love tacos, right? And then our next guest, who will be cooking with me, you know him because of his fantasy stuff, but you also know he loves to cook and make incredible food. My man, Bo McBigtime, BigTimeFlavor.co, Hotbox Batch. What's up, Bo?
Hey, I'm glad to be with you, Sven. I joined you last week, watched the whole show, blew it up big on my TV. Cast it on YouTube. It was great to watch. I'm really happy to be a part of it today. We're gonna make some real good tacos tonight.
Yes, we are, my friend. And we also got Chris Allen behind the scenes. What's up, Chris? Thanks for hopping on with us, my man. So you're gonna see him in and out. He's gonna be throwing himself on camera, off camera. So
yes, sir.
He's gonna be here. And then we also got two, if you can see it, food cameras. We got Sven's food, the prep, and then you got Bo going mobile. So be ready for that. I think he's going to enjoy it too much, maybe. But all right, man. I got to start off. I know we're going to get into the cooking, but I got to start off, Bo. Hot box batch, big time flavor.
Yeah.
Give us a little backstory, my man. Like, how did that start off, right? Because everybody tweets about it. They love it. Chris has got his coming soon. You just sent me a few for this show, and I got my steak marinating right now. So give us a little background.
So Hotbox Gourmet Hot Sauce, I pretty much it was a pre-pandemic creation, but it really took off because of the COVID-19 pandemic. It was January 2020. And as happens a lot with me is I was pretty bored. It was like 9:30 at night. I got off work and I was drinking a little bit, and of course you get the munchies. You want to cook something up, and I didn't want to go anywhere. I probably couldn't have driven anywhere at that point. And my favorite taco spot here in Woodland, California is called El Patio. And it's basically a Mexican fast food restaurant, but it's got the best tacos in town. It's got a drive-through that's open till midnight, and you might sit in that drive-through as long as you would for In-N-Out Burger. Like it's a 1 hour wait usually because the line's insane. You have a drive-through with great tacos.
I ain't waiting for In-N-Out.
I'm waiting for In-N-Out. I'm waiting for El Patio. That's about it. That's where I draw the line. Anywhere else, the long line, I'm going to go somewhere else. But El Patio has the best taco sauce. That's probably what makes it so good. And so I tried to recreate that one night in January 2020. And I kind of just decided midstream what I was going to add to it to try to duplicate that taco sauce. And I ended up accidentally putting too much vinegar in it, which turned it from a taco sauce to a hot sauce. And I used an aged sherry vinegar, which is still one of the main ingredients in Hot Box Batch. And it turned out really delicious, except I had like 2 gallons of it. And as you know, with hot sauce, especially hot sauce that's made with habanero peppers and chiles de árbol, it's hot, so you don't need a whole lot of it.
2 gallons.
Yeah, 2 gallons of it. So I had I randomly had a bottle from somebody got me a gift to make my own hot sauce, but I didn't use that other than just use the empty glass bottle. Put some of it in a bottle, stuck it in the fridge, and I put the rest in mason jars. And I basically went on my Instagram, BigTimeFlavor_, and I was like, hey, anybody want some hot sauce for free? Just try it out. I just need to get rid of it.
That's how you got to do it, right? That's how you literally have to do it. Try it.
Yeah, by 11 o'clock that same night, my wife had already gone to bed, and I had about $200 in Venmo people just wanted to pay me for the hot sauce that they were going to pick up. And I was like, there might be something to this. And so after a while, I started making more. I ordered some glass bottles online, got them shipped to me so I could bottle more of the stuff. And my first venture of shipping it was via Twitter DMs. Like I would take DMs from Twitter, from the fantasy football community, and they would send me a Venmo or a PayPal, and they would drop their address in the DMs, and I would just ship it out that way. And it was a very rudimentary thing that once I got busy enough, it was impossible to keep track of. So I made a lot of mistakes early on, but then I started a website. But backtrack just a minute, is I went and I sent a bottle to each of my league mates in a dynasty league called Hotbox. And before I was in that dynasty league, it didn't have a name. I think I called it Bravo Phoenix initially because it's salsa brava. It's really spicy. And then Phoenix because it rises from the ashes. I char all my vegetables that go in there. So Bravo Phoenix.
I love it in everything.
Bravo Phoenix was in there. And then the Hotbox League each got a bottle. They all loved it. I sent it to them for free. And from then on, it became the Hotbox Batch. And so I got some designs done, and the rest is history. I got a website, bigtimeflavor.co, where I started with Hotbox Batch, and now I've added 4 unique seasoning blends to it. We're going to be using a few of those tonight. The tacos are going to be, it's taco sizzin.
Mm-hmm.
It's a play from the fantasy football community because it's
exactly right.
Rojo Sizzin, it's Tom Brady Sizzin, it's all the favorite players you want to talk about. It's their Sizzin, but it's always taco season, and tacos are not just for Tuesdays.
This Amigo one looks really good.
And the Amigo is the newest one.
I haven't opened it yet, so I don't even know what it smells like.
It's basically an all-purpose blend that's meant to be every food's best friend. That's why it's called Amigo.
Like not necessarily like a Montreal steak, but like you kind of use something like that. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get.
Right. It's similar to seasoned salt, where it's just versatile. Like you can put it on just about anything, vegetables, proteins. It doesn't matter. You can put it on your shoe, and you probably want to eat more of it than otherwise.
Guy Fieri would probably eat it, right? As he
Guy Fieri would say I would eat it off a flip-flop. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Whatever. That's neither here nor there. We are making tacos tonight. I also believe that I have a shot poured, and so do you, Bo. I don't know, Jorge, if you're drinking as well, if you got something in front of you. Chris, if you got a home brew or something, we need to christen the show. So if anybody's viewing right now, grab a drink, and we'll do salud.
Let me see. I'm gonna have to. I owe a shot.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good, man. No worries.
This is tequila right now.
I got this little tiny bottle of tequila at Costco.
That's what it is, man.
Costco tequila rocks.
I say I'm just drinking some water, fellas. Like it's just y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead. I got a marathon in 6 months. I'm trying to train for, but you guys do your thing though.
All right.
Hey,
so it's customary to lick the salt, do the shot, and put the lime in your mouth. I say toss the salt.
Boom.
Salud, brothers.
Salud.
Salud. Oh, that's good. That's good. All right. Tacos.
Vámonos.
This is a recipe courtesy of Bo. But none of us are strangers to tacos, right? No matter where you are in the world, I guess. Probably. Actually, I guess you could say the U.S. right now. Tacos, you can literally put anything in a taco. What up, Kev? This is my best buddy from college. He probably took more than a shot too. He's probably ripping a little bit. But nice taco, hell yeah. Tacos. These tacos, we're making specifically with skirt steak, right, Bo? That is the meat. We've had it been marinating in a money marinade. The money marinade is part of. It's taco seasoning, right? Taco season, I guess, as you would say, right? It's the fantasy industry. Some lime juice, Worcestershire sauce, oil, olive oil, or any kind of oil, I would imagine, right? If you're
pretty much. I just like the taste of olive oil, so that's what I use.
Avocado oil, you never know. It's So oily.
Avocado oil I have, and I should have gone with that instead of olive oil.
I actually did avocado oil. Did
Nice.
avocado oil.
It has
instead.
a nice high smoke point because we're going to be cooking this steak at high heat. So.
Yep. And
Ooh.
I actually did not have any agave nectar, so I used just a little bit of honey instead.
That works. It's
Not
almost
as
the same.
good, but
Not quite.
honestly, I would so much rather have the agave nectar. The taste that it has, the more fresh sweetness, from it, it's so much better. And then to garnish, I have some onions. What do I have? I have a white onion and a tomato that I'm going to cut up to garnish with also some queso fresco, which I believe that, Bo, you also have as well.
Yep. Got all my good stuff here.
That's awesome. Look at that food shot. That setup is amazing. Look at that cleaver. That's amazing. So I'm actually going to turn my pan on right now. Get it all nice and hot. The skillet.
I'm just frying up some tortillas here.
While we chat, or while I prep my tomatoes over here, Jorge.
Si, senor.
What's your favorite taco, my man?
You're making it.
Yeah?
Yes. Carne asada is the 101.
Yes,
it's
sir.
just, I tell you, I can't tell you how many times. Barbecues, any barbecue. The great thing about being the grill master at barbecues or drinking beers with the grill master is you get it right off the grill.
You get the sample.
You just get to sample it, and it's just like, you grab some tortillas, maybe a little bit of beans, a little pinto beans and throw them in there, a little pico de gallo or some cilantro, just get it out there. Love the carne asada. Now, one of the things that we talked about a little bit in prep for this show is one of the things that growing up my mom would do is add half a beer to a marinade.
Oh.
So just maybe next time, like Bo, what you had, I would just throw half a beer in it just to try it, because that would make it what my mom would call carne borracha, drunk steak, drunk meat. So, but I tell you, it would just give it that little extra kick. But yeah, carne asada.
We just got the cow. What if we just got the cow drunk, right? I guess.
Then you get the marinade inside. Then it's just even better. Just even
right?
better.
Exactly. Then we're talking Wagyu beef, right?
But I tell you, yeah, carne asada is definitely the one. Another thing, it would be different than what's being made tonight. And this would be very. My parents are from Jalisco, which is kind of middle of Mexico.
Okay.
And one of the tacos that they do would be called tacos dorados, fried tacos, which you basically take your do whatever you want. You could do it with the carne asada. A lot of times my mom would do it with just like refried beans and just like potato that's been either baked potato or steamed potato, something like that, and she just season it a little bit, put them together, and just give them a light fry on both sides, and then and then she had this little mild salsa that she would make that was basically Roma tomatoes, cilantro, garlic powder, and a couple other seasonings, and it'd just be good. And
sounds amazing.
But yeah, very different. So like when people talk about like the hard shell, I'm like, no, those are not authentic. But you want
it's Americanized. It's probably Americanized.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you want hard shell. That's the tacos dorados at that point. But yeah, I tell you,
unless you make it. What if if it's a homemade hard shell, maybe you know what I mean? Then maybe it's a little different, right? You taste the TLC in the shell. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yes.
This is what I'm doing right now. I'm doing the shortcut dorados here, where I'm frying the tortillas in advance, so they're crispy on the outside and soft on the inside.
Oh yes.
And I just kind of dry them on paper towels here, but then they're ready to go. Like I can just keep them in the paper towels for up to a couple hours, and then fill them once my meat's ready.
Oh man.
And you can use any oil, but because they're corn tortillas, they taste better when you use corn oil.
Yes.
Ooh, okay. So corn on corn, right?
Yeah. Mucho maíz.
So Chris and I were talking yesterday, actually, and the topic of food trucks came up, right? And I'll let Chris, if he wants to chime in and tell us his unfortunate happenings of where he's in Ohio. But there's nothing like a nice street taco or like a taco from a food truck, right? Like it's a little there's like a little bit different feel than going to a restaurant. I feel like I mean I'm not Hispanic, but I love food, right? But like I just feel like there's something about it. You know what I mean? Chris, tell us what's going on in Ohio, my man.
What's going on in Ohio? Nothing. We don't have anything. Like Southwest Ohio, we can't get any food trucks like over here. So you guys, I need to come down to the South and get down to like to Texas or something like that. And you guys need to tell me where to go. But if I can't, how would you guys wind up making a good, like authentic taco if I wanted to try and recreate it at home? I need to know.
Okay,
That's
well,
what we're doing.
Basically, you got the carne asada right there. That's 90. You got 90% of the work right there.
Okay.
And you want to get corn tortillas. And Bo, you were talking about getting like the smaller, like the street taco size. And those are.
I mean, that's just so if you can brag about how many you can eat.
Right? Yeah. That's what you're saying in our chat there, Bo. Like, yeah, okay. Oh, great. You can eat 500 tacos. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. They're like 2/3 to a half the size, and a lot of times. So you got those, but one of the tricks that they do on the street taco trucks is they really chop the meat up finely. So and they marinate that way. So it's like the marinade is just inside every little crevice. And then they just grill it up together. But really it's just kind of, you get the carne asada on the side, and then it's onions, chopped up onions, cilantro. Those are the ones, and get your favorite salsa. It could be, if you like heat, get your favorite, I love heat, being Mexican.
What's your favorite salsa?
Oh God, red. It's gotta be red salsa.
All right.
Yeah. Like you like, I guess like, obviously, I mean, me, I love making things homemade. I have to try it, right? Like I've made a lot of things homemade. I imagine your homemade salsa is probably a lot better, you know what I mean, than like a store. But like, you have like a store bought type brand. I'm not talking like, you know what I mean, like your ragu type. But like, you have like a certain, maybe in your area,
store bought. Oh
like?
God, what's the name of it? Actually, you want to know something? One of the ones that I get a lot is kind of like the Costco brand salsa. When I just want to get a lot, for chips and salsa. That's one of them. Oh God, there's a really good, the fresh. Honestly, gosh, I mean, I don't get a lot of stuff, because a lot of times when I want the real authentic, my mom lives about 20 minutes away from us. So it's like, she'll make it. And I'm convinced that's part of the reason why I don't have hair, because it just makes the top of my head sweat so much. And it's so good. So good. Yeah. It's a really, really red salsa that she just makes homemade.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, why not drive 20 minutes? Like, instead of going to like, I would do that in a heartbeat. Hey, I need some salsa. Sure.
Yeah, my mom, she'll put stuff on the she'll marinate, a few pounds of skirt steak to get us ready for some carne asada, and then it's just like, okay, when do you guys want to come over and grill? It's all ready for you. So
should put you to work. You got to earn
right?
it.
Exactly. I mean,
I don't mind, because she gets it cut so thin that it cooks really quickly. Yep. That's the great thing. You don't want to overcook you don't want to cook it too fine, because too well done, because you might take some of the flavor away.
So Jorge, I do have to say mine are semi-authentic, because I do have the skirt steak marinating, and I plan on dicing it really small after I cook it. And then I do have the corn tortillas fried up. A lot of times the trick to the food trucks is they use la plancha. They either have a big plancha that they cook on, which is just a basic, really flat, hot cooktop, or they have like a flat top stove in the food truck itself. But a lot of those places, that's the secret, is they'll just oil up a plancha and cook everything together. All the vegetables, all the meats, all the tortillas get cooked together. So you get that marriage of flavors.
That sounds good.
Absolutely. Yeah, you see that way, when you get the taqueros that come to it's a big thing out California, Arizona, New Mexico, probably Texas too.
Probably
This is
some
technically
parts
this
of
is a
Texas,
taquiza
right?
right here. This is a taco party.
Exactly.
Una
This is
taquiza.
kind of like this is exactly. You guys are taqueros right now.
Taqueros.
Yes.
Sí se
But
puede.
and that's the thing. Yes, it's muy cierto, muy cierto. But that's the thing, it's and really, I think Sven, you said it perfectly. When it comes to what you put on it, it really doesn't matter. If you love
You could
guac, or you
literally,
just
doesn't matter. Eggs,
yeah,
pork belly, like a cheeseburger. Like you could literally put anything on a taco. Breakfast tacos are fantastic. Like leftover. I mean, whenever I smoke a brisket, I'll take the leftover brisket tacos, breakfast brisket tacos. Absolutely incredible. Oh my God.
and that's what and me, one of the things that I grew up on, that I talked about in the chat, love to get some nice really soft homemade pinot
There you go.
beans.
There you go, Chris.
Just look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So
Yes.
we got some tomatoes. What kind of onion there, Jorge? Like is a white? I mean, Bo, that's what you guys use, a white onion, right? I feel like, is that traditional or?
White.
Yeah.
You can use red occasionally if you
Yeah.
want to get
I
a
like
little.
red's good. Yellow's fine. Yellow's just a little bit sweeter and milder.
I feel
This
like
is
in
a
Texas,
white onion, fine dice.
I feel like in Texas, I see a lot of the white, like some of the, Tex-Mex or traditional Mexican restaurants that I go to in this, in the area and whatnot. So that's why I try to, because like a sweet Vidalia, like I use that in my Italian cooking, So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
like, I guess you could still use it. I mean, hey, you could use anything for any type of cooking.
Is that some serranos on there?
Ooh.
I sliced a jalapeno here, but there's serranos in here, and there's serranos in the chile verde cruda here
Bien.
that I made.
Oh, he's gonna have some
But
heat.
I just sliced a jalapeno lengthwise so I could kind of cook it alongside the meat, because I want to use the kind of the shriveled up jalapeno as kind of a garnish. That, like, if you're like me and Jorge, where you just love spice, you'll eat this like a lollipop with your tacos.
Yep.
Just
Take a bite of the taco. Take a bite of the jalapeno.
Yep.
Oh,
I messed up. I didn't get my jalapeno.
and you know what? Sometimes if you want to add a little kick to your like if you're grounding up beef to make like non-traditional taco filling, chopping up a little onion and a little jalapeno, just chop it in there. It can give it a nice little kick with Bo's taco seasoning.
Okay.
So
we throwing the meat on?
I am.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a little bit. I want to get some going here.
Sure.
Nice and sizzly.
Let me move my food cam.
And normally we would do this a la parrilla, which is outside on the barbecue, but for the
there's nothing wrong with a nice skillet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is a grill pan, actually made in part by Aisha Curry, Steph Curry's wife, who's a chef.
Oh, awesome!
So this is an Aisha Curry brand grill pan.
How is it?
It's pretty nice. It's really lightweight, which is I like. It holds heat really well, but it's really light. So best of both worlds. Easy to clean, dishwasher safe. I can't complain about it too much.
Usually those kind of pans.
Iron. Yeah, I use cast iron for most things, but for this purpose, where I want to get the grill marks on it, nice high heat char, I'll use this pan. But almost always, if I'm just making carne asada tacos, it's so much faster with a bigger grill space outside on my Weber kettle.
Oh, of course. Dude, look at that. Oh, man.
And just like you said, it's really fast because of how thin the meat is.
And my bad boy, once, all right, I'm gonna throw it on. So, Chris, if you want to.
Look at that. Oh. I can smell it from here. I can smell it from down south.
It only takes a couple minutes per side. You want to cook it to a nice medium rare, and then let it rest for at least 10 minutes. Yeah, at least 10 minutes of rest so the juices can sit still. And then when they first come off, I'll touch them up with a little bit of Amigo all-purpose blend, for a little bit extra flavor. But pretty much the marinade does all the work. And as you start cooking, just like when you have fried chicken, you get a lot of batter, and the more batter that sticks to your fingers, the better, because that means it's going to be crispier and crunchier, and you get more flavors integrated into the meat.
Should I use a little of the excess juice in the bag in there, or kind of just leave it for right now?
You really don't need it. It'll stick pretty well because of the oil in there.
Sure. Damn,
I will say, if you're doing this on a grill, I would recommend adding a little bit of the juice, because you're gonna
brush it on.
Yeah,
you're gonna lose a little bit. Yeah. Okay.
Look at that. It's already coming off for Bo.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Like I'm literally, I mean, what do we got? 26. I probably put it on at maybe like 25 minutes, 30 seconds or so. I'll probably wait another like minute and a half, and then move it.
These, Rachel Ray seasoning boxes. Got my Amigo in my seasoning box on the other side of the kosher salt. Give it a little sprinkle.
Oh yes.
So what did you just put on that?
Amigo all-purpose seasoning blend.
Amigo. All right, I'm gonna open that up.
Taste it on your finger too, because I want you to get a sense for it.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna have to turn my vent fan up.
Oh, this is perfect timing. The family can eat right after.
Yeah, that's what my wife said. She was like, "Can't wait for your show to be over so we can eat."
Right? I told my wife too, and I was like, "Hey," I'm like, "What time are you gonna be home?" She's like, "Oh, I don't know." And I'm like, "All right, well, tacos are gonna be waiting for you."
Oh, that's beautiful, because it's kind of late on your neck of the woods.
It's not too bad. I mean, it's only 6:30 right now, so it's not that bad.
Okay.
I'm gonna relocate so I can stand over here while we talk tacos.
See, I blistered those jalapenos on the skin side. Now I'm just gonna cook down the inside part. Set those aside for garnish.
Now, Bo, what do you like to put on your tacos?
So I'm not one for raw onions, but even for these, I will put some diced white onion with my cilantro, with some hot box batch, and then some queso fresco.
Ooh.
Okay.
And then of course the salsa verde. So the salsa verde cruda here it's really tangy and spicy because I use raw vegetables, 1 avocado, 8 tomatillos, 4 serranos, cilantro, some salt, pepper. Pretty much just threw in all the green things that I could find, lime juice, and some garlic and onion, and that was what I did for that. Blend it up in my Vitamix and call it good.
All right.
I got a question. When you do one question on the serranos, do you take out the seeds?
No.
Okay, you want the heat.
I want the heat.
No, thank you.
Basically, you know what I do is I just pop the stem off and toss it in the blender.
I can't. I do because I love shishitos. I don't know about you guys. Shishitos, like it's the luck of the
Japanese
draw.
bell pepper, basically.
Like, I mean, but one out of every 15 could be hot. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. And I throw them. My sister-in-law likes to throw them in a pan with a little salt, pepper, olive oil, and just roast them, right? So they get like a nice little crisp, and you can just eat them like candy. But I was like, Serrano, sure, let me get crazy, right? So what I did is I actually dipped them in honey, and put my spice rub around them and threw them on my smoker.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, these are going to be awesome. These are going to be great.
Smoked peppers are fantastic.
It was probably the worst 10 minutes after eating one of the Serranos. I was like, wow, these are a lot hotter than I really thought they were going to be. So in Serranos, we kind of have a little love-hate going on right now. All right, flip my carne.
Those seeds are deadly if
not properly taken care of.
Yeah.
Well, my problem is since I started making hot sauce for a living, I pretty much have no. I could pretty much pop any pepper in my mouth and it wouldn't be too bad.
Just like I got chef hands too. touching
Yeah.
things in the oven and all that stuff.
Yep.
Like I get,
Yep.
I don't need
I
oven
never
mitts.
get
Get out of
burned.
here. I don't need oven mitts.
My
Get out of
mouth
here.
doesn't get burned. My hands don't get burned.
Oh, I tell you, you know what I did the other day? It's about a week ago, actually. I think I put this on Twitter. I forgot. I was talking about cutting up some jalapenos and putting it in with with taco meat just to give it a little kick. I forgot to wash my hands afterward.
Oh man.
And like I'm sitting down
exactly what
eating, and
that's like.
I do one of these, and then all of a sudden it's like my eye is just yes.
No, I'm not kidding you. I've named multiple fantasy football teams the Spicy Strokes, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
Yeah, it was bad. I went to the I had to go to the kitchen sink and just like let water just like run down my eye, just wash the eye. So
it's a rough life when you get any, if it gets into any crevice, it's painful.
So bad.
Oh yeah, there you go, Sven.
Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. Yeah, that's a really nice cut.
Steak.
That is a really nice cut.
I saw it and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take this bad boy. I think this looks good. No, I mean it's been on for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean 2 minutes on each side, as long as because you got cast iron, it radiates the heat really well.
Yeah, I think it looks. Yeah, I'd be chomping off a bite right off of that, just like tear it off right at the end, just to taste it.
Right, exactly. Like this little. So the unfortunate thing is, I do actually have, as you could probably see from my stove, it's not, it said fancy gas stove, right? It is an electric, but at least it's not one of them coil ones. You know what I mean? Like it actually is like the nice ceramic, so it's a little bit better than it. I was kind of hesitant when we bought the house. I was like, there's no gas. We have no gas whatsoever going through this house. Everything's electric. So I was like,
yeah,
I'm in the same boat.
It would cost me $5,000 to put gas to my kitchen.
Yeah, no, I
was ready when I bought the house to replace the range, but the only gas goes to the hot water heater and our fireplace.
Yeah, I don't even have that.
House.
I got electric heat, literally electric everything.
Oh my
god. And what do you call it? I'm gonna bring over my cutting board actually and throw this bad boy on. Or actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna move the skillet to over here off the heat.
This marinade is money. That's why I called it that.
That's why you call it Friends, for any Friends fans out
Money
there.
marinade.
Oh yes.
And you kind of went through the ingredients. It is 3 tablespoons of It's Taco Sizzin with.
You probably hear that sizzle.
Yeah.
I'll get closer.
It's a third of a cup of your choice of oil. Avocado oil is a great choice because we are grilling at a high heat. The juice, fresh squeezed lime juice, a third of a cup, which is about 2 limes. And then a third of a cup of Worcestershire sauce, which gives it that kind of salty, funky fish taste, which is, I mean, it's not strong as it is just savory, which I'm a big fan of savory.
Yes,
and then
agreed.
A little bit of agave nectar, maybe a tablespoon of agave nectar, and call it good. I mean, it doesn't take much to make a good marinade. You just have to have some oils and you have to have some acids.
Yeah, I've been trying to I need to get more into the marinade because I got one of those immersion blenders, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I've been dying to do immersion blender, like type marinades and stuff. You know what I mean? Like making things that way. But ever since I got it, I have yet to use it. Always how it works out, right? Hey, Bo, you're using your cleaver?
Yep. I got
a
cleaver on hand for when the steak is done resting. I'll chop it up.
I'm going to come over here. Oh, wow, that looks...
Look at those chilies on the side just being like, yeah. That's sexy.
Yeah, as a bilingual gringo, I learned a few things from the abuelitas that won't let you in the kitchen, but they will let you try all the food.
Right?
Oh yes, they're.
And when I go to those taquizas, like our boss at work here, every time we have any kind of employee appreciation party, he hires the same taqueros to come, and they basically have a trailer with a plancha, and they have the bunch of ice chests with all the ingredients, and they cook it up right in front of you. There's all 4 different kinds of meats, and the whole agua frescos. They got the horchatas in the big jugs.
On the nightfall.
And so they pretty much just load you up with all the roasted jalapenos like that you want.
Oh, it's so
That's
good.
awesome.
So
And
good.
if you could smell this house right now.
Oh,
I'm sure
this is
Sven's house
amazing. Like
smells
the
insane.
smells that are going on right now are just, it is, I'm smelling the Worcestershire. I mean, that is definitely prevalent. Like, and it's
Yeah,
not,
a lot of the funk cooks out of it, which leaves behind just kind of the umami flavor that you want.
which I'm okay with. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
it's, give me Worcestershire.
Yeah.
I'm going to flip the steak, actually. It's still settling, but I'm going to flip it so the other side gets nice little juices in there.
I got a question. Hey, Bo, have you ever tried cutting up just onion rounds and doing it in the marinade on the carne asada?
Yep.
That's something. That's
I'm
something
not a
to
huge
think
fan
about.
of, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of raw onions, but cooked onions are fantastic, especially when you cook them on the same surface with the same marinade.
So keep them in there, right? Like cut up like strips, right? And then
Yeah.
just throw them in the marinade.
You can throw all kinds of vegetables in that marinade with the meat, like your onions. You can do sliced carrot. You can do all kinds of different things, and basically throw it in there throw it on the grill, and it basically caramelizes it into the onion.
Yes.
So you already get the sweetness from the onion cooking down and releasing the sugars, and then you have on top of that the marinade. So I mean, it's delicious, and it kind of reminds me of if you go to a hibachi grill where the Japanese chefs are making the onion volcano on the flat top. It's a lot like that, where you get the same kind of experience. You can show off a little bit,
especially if he catches on fire.
I'm all about showing off in the kitchen. I have had a party at my house in the kitchen, a taco party. We made over 100 tacos for 30 people, and it was so much fun to cook. Just cooked up a bunch of tortillas, 4 different kinds of meat, and laid out a whole taco bar. And it was for a friend's surprise birthday party. So she just thought she was coming over to hang out on her birthday. And we had like 30 people show up and surprise her. We parked the cars around the corner. She had no idea. She walked in around the corner into the kitchen, and we all said, surprise! And there's a whole bunch of tacos to eat.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful. What were the different meats?
So I had carne asada, I had carnitas. So I basically slow cook some pork in manteca, which is how I make my beans too. Manteca, yeah, you could say it's not good for you, but it's also really stinking good. So every once in a while you get some pork fat and it solidifies and it's delicious, and you can make any Mexican food taste better with it.
Hey, some of the worst things in the world are the best for you.
Yeah, of course. And I still haven't found any reason not to eat manteca. You can get a big tub of it that'll last forever. It doesn't go bad. You can sit it in your pantry for 3 years, 4 years, but it costs like $2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Rex lard. It's just,
yep.
You just get that stuff. Oh man, yeah, because you use it. You use it for, instead of oil on some things. Yeah, like
for your carnitas.
Lard is by far the absolute best.
Yep.
You even do it use it to make tamales.
Oh yeah. It's pretty versatile. I've already gone through a big tub in the last couple months because I made a whole pot of carnitas a month ago.
So I'm gonna I've got it somewhere.
Oh, and the other meat was I had chicken, chicken tingas, which is basically shredded slow cooker chicken.
Oh yeah,
tingas de pollo, and then I had beef birria. And birria is basically stewed beef that you sear up beforehand, and then you basically cook it in a pot with a bunch of pureed chilies, and it's absolutely insanely delicious. You can actually make a nice what's called a consommé with it, where you dip the tortillas, make red tacos with the consommé, and you can take the tacos and dip them in the consommé, which is it's the most delicious thing you could ever eat. It makes a humongous mess in your kitchen. It'll probably ruin your marriage, but it's worth it because birria.
But it's worth it. Is your wife still holding that machete?
Probably, but she knows that when I make birria de res, like beef birria in the house, is it's going to be a mess. I have to do the dishes, but she's going to eat good.
See,
Yeah,
I'm
birria
not. What's up, Jorge? Sorry, man.
birria is one of the great meats, and it's I tell you, you put I love it. I love to make a burrito out of it with so I get a lot of it and some beans and some onion. So just and you don't need to add much else because of all the spices that are already cooked inside of it. So you don't need any extra salsas or anything. It's so good.
For making tacos, that's actually really easy because it's all in one pot.
Oh man, for our family fantasy draft, our familia fantasy draft, that was the basis of our show. My primo, who was the host, his wife made birria and just made a big pot of it, and that was and another way that you can have it is you just have like just a little torta, just some bread, just cut it in half, throw it in there. Oh, it's just incredible. I got a whole plate of it. Oh, it's just I think I shared it in a chat with Bo, and I just said, guys, look at this. This is I tried to compete with Bo's food porn for a day. It was the only time.
nothing better than food porn.
Yes.
And you were talking fantasy and your league and all of that, and I know we're all baseball fans, right? Here, and I know that Jorge, you mentioned we're gonna talk baseball, right? Like, so I really hope the season starts on time. Will it?
It won't.
Maybe, probably not.
You know what I think is going to happen? This is what I think is going to happen. I think they're gonna get. I had said back in early December the over/under was the Super Bowl, and so now the Super Bowl is come and gone. Today they talked
a week out, right?
For 15 minutes. For 15 minutes today. It's a joke at this point.
At some point, they're going to just decide. At some point, they're going to get to it. They're going to have to make a deal, and both sides are going to have to give in. I can see they're going to cut. They're going to come to some sort of agreement at the end of the month, at the end of this month, and just announce spring training is going to be opening ASAP. And they will probably have 3 weeks of spring training. And when the season hits, guys will still, starting the month of April will just be the last 3 weeks of spring training.
It's going to be like NFL, no preseason, right? During COVID, exactly. Like guys are going to get hurt left and right. Like,
yes.
I just hate it though, because it's just a terrible situation where the players have their side of the story, the owners have their side of the story, and from my perspective, I don't see how anybody can take the owner's side at this point because they've just been so unmoving. They don't move on anything. They come in with the idea that they're not going to negotiate. And that's what happens is you get 15-minute meetings where, if you're negotiating a real deal, it could take a whole day.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to go, is you hold yourself up like a jury proceeding. You're sitting on a jury trying to decide if somebody's guilty or innocent. It might take whole days of not going anywhere else but in that room hashing things out item by item. But they're not even doing that. So I really don't have any hope that this season is going to start on time or even play this year.
No, they're going to play. They're not. Nobody. The players aren't going to want to miss checks.
Don't you say that, Bo.
Yeah, the players aren't going to want to miss checks.
Need it, okay?
So I have I still have sources inside a couple of teams, and one of them said spring training. It told me we were doing a fantasy playoff draft about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. He said he thought spring training would get delayed, but that they would start the season on time because no one's gonna want to miss a check, and the owners aren't gonna want to miss receipts. The gate. So they'll play 162. Maybe they even push the season back a week.
I can see that. Honestly, 162 games. It's ridiculous. It's a marathon. It's like a double marathon. It's insane, right? Like,
I want everything. I don't want to compromise. I just want baseball. I think we're on the same page there. We just want baseball,
yes.
Right? We just want baseball. Exactly.
I am a
diehard
TV.
fan.
We want to go to the ballpark. We want to spend $15 on a beer and $12 on a hot dog. We want all those things.
Oh, Bo and I are on the opposite set. We're on opposite sides of the California Mason-Dixon line when it comes to baseball.
So you could be A's, Angels,
So
Giants.
So Bo, you can start.
Yeah, unfortunately, I am a fan of the NL West champion San Francisco Giants, and unfortunately, they did not advance in the playoffs against Los Dodgers,
which is my team. So
Dodgers.
Yes,
because I'm NorCal through and through, and he's SoCal through and through. So during baseball season, me and Jorge have a text thread going pretty hot, like all season long. And it's been pretty dormant this off season because we're afraid that the games aren't going to be played.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen exactly. Right?
Yeah.
I'm in this draft.
We want
in a
those
live
19
draft.
games. 19 juegos.
yes.
Yeah, we want those 19 games between the Giants and Dodgers. I usually go to a few games each year at Oracle Park, which is the most beautiful ballpark in Major League Baseball.
I actually hear it is very, very, very nice. I really want to get
legendary.
out there.
It's insane.
I need to get out there. There's
and when it comes to convenient,
go ahead.
No, by all means, Jorge, go.
And I will say, I mean, I'm a big Dodger Stadium guy. I mean, I worked for the Dodgers for a few years, so I know every crevice of that place. But Oracle Park, San Francisco, is one of the jewels in Major League Baseball.
That's what I hear. Like it's Camden is another one that I hear is absolutely. It's unfortunate the Orioles are terrible. But I hear that Camden is
all goes in
amazing.
cycles. Like the Giants won 3 titles in 5 years, and then they were pretty mediocre for a decade after that. And they finally got back there last year to the playoffs. But it comes down to like these teams are going to go through cycles because there is so much parity in baseball. The ballparks, though, I have Oracle number 1, PNC and Pittsburgh number 2, and then Camden Yards, and then Fenway, Wrigley, all those. But yeah, PNC
Fenway
and Pittsburgh
pack.
is absolutely breathtaking.
I haven't been.
I went to Fenway once for a Yankees Bo Sox game. Oh, I didn't wear any Yankee stuff. I will say it was quite the experience, though. The
was
stadium,
that for your safety? Your safety to not wear the
that because we actually bought tickets outside the stadium, right? And oh my God, this was years ago. I mean, I'm not even that old, and it just seems like it was like decades ago already. But I sat in like the right field, like upper deck. My other buddy was like in left field. Like we were completely separated. So we were like, all right, none of us are gonna wear Yankees because we all need to make it back. I will say it was quite the experience. The Yankees lost. It sucked. But going to Fenway, I'm happy that I got to experience a Yankees Bo Sox game at Fenway. I've been to Yankee Stadium so many times. All right, man, we cut in the meat.
Oh man! Well, I will say the one game I saw at Fenway Park was not only Yankees Red Sox, but it was also the final start that Roger Clemens made as a member of the Red Sox.
Ooh!
Oh, wow.
So just so happened I bought tickets like a couple months in advance. A friend of mine said, "Hey, let's go to Boston." So close friend, she was living in Jersey at the time, said fly up, we'll drive up to Boston, we'll go, let's buy a ticket to that Saturday. I bought the tickets like in August. The next thing I know, I'm like, oh my God, Rocket's starting on Saturday. Look at that.
That's right,
that was early 90s too, and you were already an adult. Jorge's a vampire, by the way. He doesn't age.
Man.
Jorge is actually 79 years old. Doesn't he look great?
He doesn't look a day over 78, my friend.
Exactly.
Hey, Bo.
Look at that.
Teach me, my man, how do you cut it, my dude? Which
so
way?
You want to find the grain. There's a pretty especially on a skirt steak, there's a noticeable grain, which is just like the sinew of the meat as parallel lines, basically. And
exactly.
Your first slice is going to be across that, so you try to make a plus sign with the grain there. If you cut it with the grain, it gets tough. Yeah,
I'm going perpendicular.
Perpendicular to the grain, and cut it in long slices across the grain like that, perpendicular. And what that does is if you're cutting the grain across, it's actually making the meat more tender and easier to chew and digest. Because if you cut it across the grain, you're cutting with the muscle, and the muscle doesn't release its tension. Like you're already releasing some of the tension by cooking it. But
the brisket.
Yep. So across the grain, some people like leaving it in those long slices I'm more on the street taco side where I like to just turn it the other direction and chop it into a fine dice.
I'm okay with that. Hey, it's
And
all going
for
to
the sake
same,
of
it's all
for
going
the
to
sake
same
of your
place, right?
audio and your ears, I'm not gonna just do the chop that I usually do.
No, have at it. Chris could just mute you, so it's all good.
So basically,
Look
just
at
take your
that.
steak. I actually take them, and my pieces are small enough to where I can take 3 or 4 of them at the same direction, and just slice them all together.
Okay. So
And I usually go a 1/4 inch slice. I want them nice and small.
right, so like I got my meat right here, right? Like I just cut it into strips against the grain, and then now I just
I basically do that, and you can do the rock or you can do the chop. You have a cleaver in your hand. You might as well just drop the hammer on it.
Well, dude, I mean, we were talking before the show, and you inspired me to use my cleaver that I have not used. I haven't used this bad boy.
That's what it's for, man. I mean, if you're not breaking down whole cuts of beef, why not use a cleaver for breaking down smaller cuts of beef for show? It's for the show, man. It's a big shiny knife. Hey, it's got a nice hole in the top corner of it.
Aesthetics are amazing, right? Aesthetics are where it's at. Because I have so many different knives too, and I bought a butcher cleaver actually for when I cook brisket. Because I used to actually manage a barbecue place. I know that we're going kind of off topic with that, but and I used to work the block actually. I don't know if you ever been to a barbecue place like where they slice the brisket. You know what I mean? Like I got pretty good at it. Being able to slice, I could probably slice like a whole brisket in like a couple minutes max, if that. Like perfect slices. You know what I mean? Like
I have a nice strong slicer for my briskets and tri-tips.
Oh yeah, I haven't done a tri-tip yet.
It's a 14-inch slicing knife.
Look at that. That's just like the taqueros would do it.
Yep, and I have this nice. It's a commemoratively designed cutting board. It's got Big Time Flavor Co. engraved in it. Got it from my mother-in-law, and so it's hardy. It's got the showbiz quality.
I see my little man down there in the top of my Sven's food. Oh, he's hiding now. I don't know where he went. He's probably like, oh shit, he's cooking. Did he drop anything?
Right. Yeah, I have 2 dogs and a cat, and we call the 2 dogs the floor cleanup crew.
Right? They're literally like Roombas. Like my other one, he will eat anything.
Except they can actually go up and down stairs, unlike a Roomba.
Oh, the dogs. Yeah. Our dog, if something hits the ground, he's there. Boom.
Yeah, we put the dogs outside for the show because they tend to bark at every moving object out the front door.
Oh, this is great. Look at
that. Look at that.
Actually, I feel like I cooked this particular skirt actually perfect. Like you can see the red. Like you probably can't. I mean, maybe on.
No, you can see it. It does. It looks nice and tender.
Right, you could see that. Oh my God, I had a little piece actually before. I don't know if it was caught on camera, and you know when you make that face, you know what I mean? Like you're like, oh.
When you start vibing.
Right, exactly. So okay.
Yeah, you catch a vibe when you make carne asada. That's for sure.
See, this knife is just so incredible that it's just the light is just coming off of it. Bo, you're a lefty. All right, I dig it. I dig it, my friend. My mother's a lefty.
Look at that.
Not all of us can
born right-handed. Only the best recover.
Not all of us can be perfect. You know what I mean? But I won't fault you for it.
Look at that.
Boom. You guys ready to build some tacos?
I am ready to build some tacos, my man. To
get us to our board. Boom! Get yourself a picture of that. If you're watching at home on a mobile device, you might want to take a screenshot of this for later. You know, when you're all alone and you have some privacy.
For the after hours.
Look at that.
All right, let me grab a plate here. I'm gonna do 3 tacos.
Everyone should have someone look at you the way we're all looking at those 2 cutting boards filled with carne asada right now.
I'm still waiting for royalties from the Washington football team because their logo looks like my taco holder.
Building these
All right,
tacos. I will say, I don't think I've actually cooked a skirt steak as good as this looks right now. Like this is skirt steak is a very underrated meat. I feel like a lot of people kind of get like, because sometimes there's that flap, you know what I mean? Like in the middle, it's a nice big piece, and it's like so fatty, and people just tend to stay away from it, and they'll go, hey, I put Italian dressing, as a marinade. Like, sorry, if you put Italian dressing as a marinade, we need to talk. You need help, all right? We gotta help you.
And just like the taqueros, I will dish out my my tacos with the knife itself.
Honestly, I'm all for it. All right,
look at that.
Tacos.
And yes, I usually, for the sake of brevity, will put a couple tortillas under the taco holder because when you inevitably lose toppings to spillage, you get bonus tacos.
Right, it's extra, exactly. And that's why I like corn tortillas, you know what I mean? But I feel like sometimes they just, and that's the thing, you got to use 2, right? Like sometimes because it falls apart. They're very.
Or you do what I did and use the caseras, which are the thicker corn tortillas.
Ooh. And
they hold up really nice.
Those are the ones that are pretty close to homemade.
Yeah, and that's why I get those. The thin ones that are in the store bought, they're pretty trashy. So we get that. Got bone.
Onion. Chris, how you doing? Yeah. How you doing, my man? Is your mouth watering right now?
Yeah, I'm ready to eat. Like, I'm gonna need y'all to send some of that up my way.
Dude, hey, if we're all going to the expo this year, we got to figure out some way we can do a cooking something.
Oh my God! Yes, for draft night out, you guys. For draft night out, they got to get you like a Traeger grill or something like that. Get it sponsored and
done. I'll cook on anything. Doesn't matter. We could do like a Dinner Impossible type. You know what I mean? Like type deal. Yep. Like here's what you have to work with. This is what you got to make. Done.
Bo will bring all the seasonings and all the sauces.
So you guys get a good shot of that there.
Look at that.
I'm going to turn it this way for you.
It's really making me upset that I actually didn't get cilantro. I really don't know why I didn't.
And so I do have the lime wedges here as a garnish.
Ooh, gotta have the lime. Gotta have the lime wedges.
You guys are getting a little messy here. I do like presentation. But at the same time, I want to do I cut these more bulbous chunks of lime.
Not like
juicing.
Not like the huge chunks that the bartenders, you know what I mean, put on top of your Corona, and they're like, here, shove half of this lime in your Corona. Like, come on. You know how to cut a lime?
Those work great for juicing on top of tacos.
Like, no, I'm not eating a taco. Like, and first of all, I don't even like lime and Corona anyway. I mean, yeah, sure, I'll have it, but like, come on. Like, who taught you how to cut a lime?
That's why I'm drinking Modelo.
Modelo.
Oh,
Modelo's
nice.
great with lime in it.
I do not have actually any Hispanic beer. I have a lot of German beer in my fridge right now. I am Hungarian and Austrian. We are gonna do a Hungarian show at some point in the future. Schnitzel. I make my own homemade schnitzel.
Oh my!
I will say,
finishing touch.
Out of everything that I make, the schnitzel and my goulash, Hungarian goulash. It is my father's. And I think his mother, so my Oma, her recipe, and I use a little bit of my aunt, who my father's sister. When my father actually came down to Texas in December for the first time to visit us, since we bought our house at least, I think he had like 3 bowls of the goulash and was completely blown away. Bo,
look at that.
I mean, you even got the taco. Like, do you even have the holder for it?
Yep.
Hey, that he's a pro.
Look at this guy.
Tacos are my life, man. Put that on the phone camera.
So, I mean, I don't know if we want to show mine. They don't look as, you know what I mean, as sexy as Bo's.
Let's see. Oh, that's still beautiful.
I mean, they still look good, right? It's not
yeah.
quite the Mexican flag. I'm missing the cilantro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of that
you
green.
You gotta fill those suckers up. You got the big tortillas. You gotta fill them up.
Yeah, I'd say add some more carne asada.
Done. Sure. You don't have to tempt. You guys don't have to tempt me with a good time.
Yeah. Garnish them with a little more carne asada. So
Yeah, don't scrimp on the meat because that's good. The mark of a good taqueria is how much meat they give you on each taco.
Yes.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
they'll
that's
give you
also a sign of whether or not they're going to go out of business or not, too. You know?
Right.
Because a lot of times they give you 2 tortillas on it. So
Oh
what
my
I like
God.
to do is I just say like, yeah, just load it up. Because then I'll just take the tortilla that hasn't been eaten and I'll just add some of the fillings and put it in there. And it's like, okay, 3 tacos turned into 6. Look at that, papi.
Salud.
Oh, muy
I'm
bueno, muy bueno. Look at that. Sven, what does our survey say? Family's gonna eat well tonight, right?
I'm letting it all marinate.
100 de esos.
I'm missing the cilantro. And that's
Really?
shame on me. Shame on me. I apologize. But no, the steak, tasting the marinade.
Money.
The tomatoes and the onion though. Like I'm not an onion fan. Like Bo said, like I'm not a raw onion. It's not something that I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Hey, give me a burger. Let me throw like 10 raw onion rings on it. No. But I feel like I'm eating a taco, a nice, you know what I mean? Like Mexican taco. It's got to have the raw onions, and I think it just adds that extra. You know what I mean?
You know, one of the things you can do is pico de gallo. So
okay.
I saw Bo had the so you could do that because then the tomato sauce just kind of takes a little bit of the edge off of the raw onion.
Yep.
So
and the lime juice too. Lime juice kind of cooks it halfway.
Yeah. My mom makes one with jalapenos in it. That's just fire, and it's just.
Oh man, I love spicy.
Oh, put that in with carne asada or carnitas.
Yeah.
Oh. That's why I'm also big.
Yo.
Spice.
Yes,
the spice. Oh, and I forgot.
Now what I'm doing is I'm
I got
actually
these
picking up the
beans
little
here
pieces.
too. Homemade frijoles, just like Jorge Martin makes from Jalisco, Guadalajara, Mexico.
Which one?
Frijoles refritos.
Oh,
Repitan?
yes.
Repitan?
Frijoles fritos, refried beans.
So I do have some beans on here, but I don't know how they're going to turn out because unfortunately lo siento mucho para mis frijoles.
Oh yeah,
I didn't get the bad
refried beans.
You know what I mean?
You'll never buy Rosarita in the can ever again if you make your own refried beans.
I know Jorge's he's very upset with me right now, but it's okay. We're gonna get over it. We're gonna. You've got
the recipe. You've got the tools.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You know, I'll drop you my number if you need to get walked through on anything. So I'll be your on call,
dude. Yes.
But I tell you, you get some nice. I had like beans and rice for lunch today, and it was just divine. Just to threw them into a burrito. It was good living. So
that's awesome.
Nice and easy lunch right there.
I don't know, Kev. I don't know if we would do red onions. Red onions in on tacos. Would you do the red onions?
It's all right.
It's not bad.
The white is more. I think the white is best.
Yeah.
Right. White is probably. We'll go in my line of work. I'm in product support, IT. You know, we'll say best practice of that, right? Best practice is white onions, but we'll still suggest the red onion.
I'm a big fan of red onions, but I think the white are perfect with carne asada, just with the with the tacos and everything, with the onion and the cilantro. I think it's perfect that way.
Oh, I'm seeing you. I mean, obviously, my man's dancing. He's loving the tacos. How'd they turn out? Good?
Fantastic.
This is why this is why this cooking,
I don't know why I don't make this like every other day.
Yeah. Especially with the Modelo, it's perfect.
Right? I mean, I gotta tailor it next time. You know, obviously this is a learning experience, right? Like on the job training almost. You know what I mean? So next, I'll make sure that I have the proper beverages as well to align with said dishes. You know what I mean? So, hey guys, this has been absolutely fantastic. Jorge, Bo, appreciate you guys so much for coming on. Chris, thank you so much for being my man with changing cameras. Like that's all Chris, guys. Like that was my dude back there. Make sure to follow these guys, Jorge, Bo. We're probably going to be talking baseball. I mean, if baseball happens, right? Who knows? You can find their Twitters right on their names at Bo_McBigTime and at Jorge Martin 17. Follow me also on Instagram, Sven Cooks Food right there, and then Fantasy Sven. You only get so much space in the StreamYard, so I'm trying to figure out how to put both. You know what I mean? So like I can get follows on both, but got to do the Instagram game if I want to do food. So again, guys, really appreciate you coming on. This marinade is awesome. Also, Chris did put the link. First of all, make sure to subscribe to 32-Bit. Go like, subscribe, 32-Bit. Check out the show every single Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You don't know what we're going to be making, right? I mean, kind of do. I'm going to tell you a little bit in advance, but thank you. Thank you to everyone. Big Time Flavor, there you go. Check that out. Go buy some rubs. Go buy some hot sauce.
BigTimeFlavor.co actually has the recipe for the money marinade. If you click on the product link for taco sizzin, one of the photos is actually a photo of the recipe for the money marinade.
Perfect. That's awesome. Thank you again, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Salud.
Yeah.